We're here at Mont-Saint-Anne, where the Canadian Olympic mountain bike team has just been formally introduced. We're talking with Jacques Landry, Director of High Performance at Cycling Canada, and also the man who will be the team leader for cycling for Canada in London. Jacques, can you talk a little bit about the team that's been selected for mountain bike?
Definitely. I mean, we feel it's the most performing team that we've ever had since mountain bike's been on the program at the games since '96. Given the course, the nature of the course, which will be a technical, and really hard course, we do believe that we have the best composition in the 4 riders that have been nominated.
Now, it must have been a difficult selection, especially on the women's side. I mean, the men. Jeff and Max pretty much self-selected themselves, but on the women's side, you had Catherine, who won a World Cup and was clearly is a world champion. But in the other second spot, you had Marie-Hélène Prémont and Emily Batty, both also riding extremely strong. So, can you talk a little bit about that selection, because it must have been pretty tough?
As you said, I mean, no selections are easy. Definitely not in this case. One thing is for sure is that when selections are hard, it means that we are doing something right. It was definitely hard for us, but it shows also that we have depth in our women's program, being number one nation in women's mountain bike right now across country. It was definitely a hard decision, given the fact that Marie-Hélène comes with a lot of experience coming from last 2 games, comes with a medal around her neck from Athens, and for the last 8 years has been an inspiration to a lot of young cyclists move up in the ranks on the mountain bike side. So on that note, it was a tough call. With regards to performances, there were World Cups. It was pretty clear with everybody that the World Cups were a way that we will be determining the final selection. And early on, Emily basically got some really good performances early on, knowing full well that Marie-Hélène towards the end of her prep takes a bit more time, and then when she's there, she's there. It didn't pan out as much as we anticipated on Marie-Hélène's side at the end of the European Spring World Cup stint, and so basically we fell back on our decision. We based our decision on the performances and also based on the fact that moving forward and based on the course, because it's a very tactical course and Emily has demonstrated a lot of tactical prowess. We decided that moving forward, definitely for the games, getting the experience in London will be definitely good for Emily, and as we look also towards 2016.
Now, can you talk a little bit? Hang on. It's okay. I'll
edit your stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Oh God, it completely went out of my head there for a second. Oh, okay, I know what it was now. During your formal announcement, you talked about medals, and you said anything less than 2 medals would be a disappointment for Canada in cycling. Was one of those medals you were thinking about probably being a mountain bike medal?
The way we did the calculation is when we look at all the overall performance on the Olympic side only, with mountain bike, road, track, and BMX. We come up to the point where we basically have 6 or 7 potential realistic potential medals, and when you just add the conversion, it's basically a simple conversion rate to about 30% conversion rate. We come up with 2. They can come from any side. As you know, sport is what it is, and definitely at the Olympics there are some upsets. There are some things happen at the games in any major event. So for us, it's a conservative, I'd say, estimate, but it's still a very realistic one to say that we're aiming for 2. Mountain bike, obviously, with repeated performances from our men and women. Obviously, on the women's side, we've shown repeated performances on that front, but we've also shown repeated performances on the track side and also on the road side when you look at the women's time trial. So all those come together is basically an amalgamation of all the potential realistic medal contention that we have overall in all the Olympic sports. So basically, it's just a 30% basically ratio that we're looking at for conversion.
Okay, so you're not prepared to make any exact predictions which sports you think are going to get the medals.
Well, obviously we have some sports that have actually demonstrated podiums. So obviously women's mountain bike is one that's demonstrated performance. Men's and women's omnium has demonstrated medal performance at the world championships. So medals there. Women's team pursuit as well. So when you look at those four, at least those four, it gives us, you got a bit of my answer right there. And then you look at even women's time trial, where we're like a couple seconds off the podium at Worlds last year in the time trial. So all those four events in cycling, will eventually, one of them, and we're hoping two, will pan out to medals.
Okay, well, we'll look forward to see what happens.
So will I. Thanks.